them mad, or if I, for some reason, it feels like the first time I see them mad, it feels like I'm just gonna go up to them and be like, "You're so cute." Hi everyone, welcome back to Feelings to Unfold podcast. I'm Christina.
I'm Maribel.
Last week we started talking about K-pop, our favorite groups, why we like them, what we would do with them at like if we had a chance to spend the day with them. So we had a really good start of the conversation for our first part.
And today we're going to continue by talking about things such as who we could see ourselves being friends with if we had the opportunity to, and kind of just our stance on certain things about the K pop industry.
I hope you enjoy the podcast and yeah, being the real Jimin. I wouldn't mind saying that.
Sometimes I wonder like how different they are versus being on camera. Because
Yeah.
like sometimes Namjoon will be like, "Oh, we have to do this so that we make it funny for Army," or like Jin will act a certain way because he knows it'll be entertaining. So I'm kind of just like, I wonder how much of it do they do just for us, just for like an
And
entertaining show or whatever.
I remember I know there's a lot of people who talk about their experience whenever they do go on to their shows or make an appearance, and they saying how humble they are, how
Mm-hmm.
nice, how sweet they are with the staffs, how soft spoken, all this stuff. I'm like, I really want to see that in person.
Yeah.
I really want to see how I don't oh what was the word? I don't doubt that that's who they are. I
Mm-hmm.
don't doubt that at all, but I do want to be able to experience it too. I do want to see how they are outside of when the cameras are off, when they're
Yeah.
just in their rooms, in
Like
their
I want to
home.
see the real them, like
Hmm.
unfiltered, no acting a certain way because of cameras around or something. But I mean, of course, you can tell kind of like how they really are, like their personality wise. You can see their what they believe in, their morals, stuff like that, and
They
just
don't
like
fit.
yeah, like you can really see what kind of person they are. But I do think it might be different with no cameras. I want to see like how
No.
comfortable they would
Yeah,
be,
definitely.
you know?
No, definitely I want to see that too. It feels like there's so much of their personality, so much of who they really are. I can't wait till the day that they feel comfortable sharing a little bit more of that. Or if I ever get the experience or ever get that moment for me, I wouldn't mind seeing it. I definitely want to just sit back and just observe. Not in a weird way, just so just see how it is. I think it would be really interesting. And I don't think it would be far from what they already show. But is it? I just thought of something. But would it? It's weird. I don't know. It's it's weird how would I say it? I do want to see their humble side and the nice whatever stuff. What happens off cameras. But I also kind of want to see their really angry side.
Oh.
Really angry side. I kind of want to see it. Is that? I don't
I
know.
don't,
It feels.
I don't know, like I would want to kind of see it too, but honestly, dance director Hobie is so scary to me. like
He could get so strict.
I don't want to see him mad.
Oh my God, I think seeing Hobie the maddest would be the scariest, and I think I'll be sad. But
Me
I heard,
too.
who was it? I remember there was an interview before. They're saying the person who who they're scared to get mad. I think it was Jimin. I think there was an interview where they said it was Jimin who they got who they said is the scariest when mad. I'm like,
Mm,
I can see a little bit of that, and I'm like,
I
okay, I
could
can see
see
that.
that. But do
And
you
I think they also
remember?
said RM too. There's been
Oh,
I can't remember, but yeah.
I mean, RM and Yoongi have a lot of patience with
Oh my
the.
God. I love those videos where they're they'll watch they're on a concert or they're like filming something, and you see like in like the TikToks where they zoom in onto Namjoon or they zoom into Yoongi, and their like faces look so irritated.
Yeah.
Or just like I'm done, and I'm just like they look so cute though.
Well, I was gonna say, do you remember that one time? I hope this is not a spoiler for anyone. I'm sorry if it is, but on Bon Voyage in New Zealand, when they left Hobie, do you remember that?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah, they drove off without him, and he was so mad. I felt so bad for him.
I thought it was all an act, but he actually kind of looked a little mad.
He did look kind of mad. And but like when he was like, Jimin, out of all people, you did this to me. I was like, oh my god, that would break
That
my
was
heart.
like, I was like, I apologized for Jimin. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Why would he do that? It was so bad.
I
But
know.
yeah, but I was still laughing. It was still kind of funny though.
It was cute, but I did feel bad for him.
Yeah. It's funny, like I always think about that. Like if I ever do see them mad, or if I for some reason it feels like the first time I see them mad, it feels like I'm just gonna go up to them and be like, "You're so cute." I feels like that's what it's like my reaction will be if I see them mad, because it's just like, why are you so adorable right
If they
now, you
start
know?
doing their pouts.
Oh my gosh. I'm
Oh.
done for. Honestly, like whenever Jimin does his like iconic eye roll, ugh, that just does something to me sometimes. Just oh my
If I
God.
ever saw
But yeah.
if I ever saw a Tae or Jungkook pout in real life, I don't know. I don't know what I'd do.
Oh no. If I ever see Jungkook, like whenever like you see those videos where he's just like putting his like tongue against his cheek, if I get to see that in real life, I don't. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be like, I think that's hot. Whenever he does that, I'm like, oh. But anyway,
I'm not gonna say anything.
yeah. I don't want to say too much. So I don't want. Yeah. I think it's crazy. Like depending on, have you ever seen like those like clips where it's just like they describe the member, like if you're a Jimin stan, you're like they just start describing your
Mm,
personality.
yeah.
Don't you think it's always crazy how like sometimes those personality traits are like, damn, that's so on point. It's scary.
Didn't we send some to each other before?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But it's so
They're
true.
like so yeah, sometimes they're really true.
Why is it
It's
so
just crazy.
accurate?
I don't know. Maybe there's a reason why we got attracted to them, I guess. But
uh,
dang, it gets really on point on some of them. I'm just like, huh,
I
that's
guess
interesting.
their personality just attracts a certain type of personality too.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's crazy to see like how different, like, like when you say like, oh yeah, I'm into BTS, like you meet another army and be like, who's your bias? And then you kind of like see like, oh, I
Like
could totally see that.
you
You like
know them a
like
certain way.
yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, you're Jungkook bias. Okay. Like so like you know their personality already kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're a Hobie bias. Okay.
Well, cuz
Like you
it
already
does tell
know.
you about them.
Yeah, you kind of already it's weird. But then like it's like it's I don't know if it's like bad. It's like you're kind of judging them off the bat, but it's just at the same time it's just like it's just so accurate because even though you already kind of know what how kind of person they are, and they start showing their traits, you're like, oh, yep, I'm right. It's just like kind of scary to think about. It's just like, oh, damn, I was right about you. But it's not like a bad thing or anything, Like I don't think anyone who bias like certain members, like there's any bad trait. I don't think, at least. I haven't seen any
No.
bad traits.
I don't think
Well, no,
so.
there's some that I might take that back. You were saying?
No, I was curious what you're going to say.
There's just, I mean, it feels like if you're army, you might know what I'm thinking about, but I don't want to blast it. It feels like, I don't know. I don't think I need yeah, I don't think I need to blast it. I think it feels like you'll know what I'm thinking. The certain stand group. But anyway, yeah. Um,
I
talking
think you just
about
said it without saying it.
What? I didn't say anything. Um, but no, but it's crazy though. Like, yeah, even it doesn't even have to go with like BTS. Like when I meet like carrots, like when I like ask them, "Oh, who's your bias?" and they'll say like Scoops, Jonghan, like all like like they'll say their members. I'm like, I still have that same feeling. Like, oh, okay, I know your personality. Like, it kind of like like it feels like you can do that with any like almost any stan group, like fandom. Almost every, like at least for me, the ones
Probably.
I like. Feels
Yeah.
like,
I would say
you know,
so. Because it
like
kind
whether
of
they're
shows you what they're,
yeah,
not like what they like, but, kind of a
mm-hmm,
bit about their personality.
yeah, talking, yeah. I'm kind of curious on, who how real it is because I've only like seen like probably a handful, like a good amount, and it's been pretty accurate so far, you know. So if you want, drop down on the comments. You could, tell us what group you stand, who's your bias, and give us a little bit about your personality and see how accurate that is to what other people say. Maybe we're wrong. Who knows? But yeah.
I
But it
feel
feels
like.
like, yeah.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
No, no, no. I was just like, feel like, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, I just think a lot of people, a lot of K pop fans probably relate to it.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah. It feels like there's a lot of, like, you know, you have your community with your family, you have a community where you grew up with, you have a community with your friends, but like the community for like K-pop is just it just feels like it's a whole nother level sometimes. It's just
It's
crazy.
it's really different.
It really is. And yeah. But it feels like we've been talking about these like amazing good-looking boys. We don't talk about girls enough. So
That's
maybe we should put a little bit in there. Sprinkle some girl groups in there. Actually, well no. I'm I don't know. For me, I'm really picky when it comes to girl groups.
me too.
Like I'm really picky. Like with boy groups, I could listen to their songs on repeat as much, whatever. With girl groups, a lot of their songs, I can't listen to it too many times because sometimes it starts getting annoying to me at least. Like not annoying, maybe annoying is wrong. It's just it doesn't hit the same way when I listen to it more. I don't know, maybe because it's like some songs feel like they're really repetitive, some are a
Mm.
little too cutesy. That's when I start having
Hmm.
like kind of more of my hardcore, like I need a little bit more out of it. I don't know. At
I
least to me. I think the
think
only girl group that I feel like I can listen to their songs constantly is Blackpink. But yeah.
I just
And
think
solo artists, girls.
oh, solo
Sorry.
artist is different.
Yeah, it feels like
Yeah.
solo artists is totally different. But yeah. Anyway, you were saying.
I just feel like I can't get into girl groups as much just because of the difference in level of choreography for girl groups than the boys. And I hope I don't get canceled for this, but like for girl groups, to me their choreography a lot of times is so like bubbly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, no,
Like,
I understand what, yeah. It's
yeah,
like cutesy and it's just
yeah.
like
And
it's
I
just like
hate
I
that they
think they
do
can
that to them
do
all the
better.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you look at
No, no,
Lisa,
no.
like she's a really good dancer.
Oh my God, don't even get me started on her. I'd do anything for her. I love her. She's, oh my God.
But that's why, like, it kind of makes me mad because
Yeah.
it's like they're capable of so much more,
I
and you're
think,
just having them do these
yeah.
like basic bubblegum pop moves, like, you
Yeah.
know?
And it feels like they might be different, but they also feel like they're so the same. But I think, I don't know, at least now maybe they're doing a little bit better compared to before.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they're starting to kind of get out of that, which is good. I think I'm liking them just a little bit more, just not like enough yet, but yeah.
I think another thing is uh, like how much the what is it? Oh, I don't know what it's called. Like just the whole. Oh, I just lost the word. The whole industry. Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Oh.
say. how the whole
Uh,
industry kind of like really sexualizes the girls.
but
Like
but couldn't you say that about the boys too, though? That they sexualize the boys as well?
sometimes, but did you see how at oh what event was it? I forgot the event, but there's like and I forgot which group now too, but the girls were like wearing short dresses and it's like hella cold outside, like you could see everyone's breaths and they're like standing there
Yeah.
shaking and it's like why did you put them in those outfits when you know it's
Oh yeah.
cold?
No, no, I agree with you though. They do. I mean, yeah, the boys do get sexualized, but it feels like the girls get really sexualized. Like, yeah, the boys will do like certain dance moves and like sometimes they'll be showing their abs a little bit, but they only show certain parts, like wearing tight jeans or whatever, but it's not as much as like if you really notice it, like how much the girls get sexualized in
Yeah.
it?
Well, because it's like for the girls, I feel like it's the whole industry is
Mm.
that's sexualizing them. It's not like with the boys, they make them take their shirts off and put that as like their album cover or whatever.
Um, there's one I could think of, but that's a different. I think
But
that
it's,
was his own
I don't
choice.
know,
But
it's
yeah.
just
No,
different
no,
with
no,
like
I
the
understand. Yeah, yeah,
boys
yeah.
and how they treat the girls. It's
No.
like with the girls, they kind of make it a point
Hmm.
to
Like
show.
it's already off the bat. Like I think with like boys, they wait a little bit before they start sexualizing them. You know what I mean? Like once they debut, they're not completely not sexualized, but they're not completely throwing in like the whole like sexy fact. Well, I mean, no debut, Jim and Lithia for sure is a little bit different. But with other groups, with other groups, they don't really like sexualize them, right? They're a little bit cutesy, a little bit different, you know. And of course, BTS is a whole different type of level when they first debuted. But anyway, um, but like when you see the girl groups, they're already straight off the bat, short skirts, like barely anything on, like doing these dance moves, like super sexy dance moves. And like these are like probably, if you really think about it, these are like 15, 16, 17-year-old girls. And it's
Yeah.
just like,
It's,
like yeah, it's totally different. It's just like I understand it a little bit more when they're a little bit older, I guess you could say, when they're
yeah.
in their 20s probably if they've had like couple years under their belt. I understand that, but throwing them already into that kind of position. I think there was already I think there was like this type of like kind of issue already that happened with one of the new girl groups that came out, it feels like. I remember, I think it was with New Jeans.
Yeah.
I think it was with them, right? Where they were like people were going off on how I could be wrong. It could be a different group I could be thinking of. But like I remember how when they debuted, like they're good. They're really good. I actually liked their song. But like people were going off on how young they were and how much like skin they were showing and their dance moves and stuff like that. It's just like it's like so inappropriate for their age and I'm like I
Yeah.
don't disagree. Like it really is. Like I understand you're debuting them young, but it shouldn't mean that you should be throwing them into that type of atmosphere young also,
Yeah. Because
because
they're
it's just
putting
like
it on them. It's not the girls that
yeah,
want to do that. Like, I'm pretty
yeah,
sure she's only 14.
yeah,
And
yeah. I was just like I remember seeing all that. I'm like, and then I think back at like my cousins who are like that age. I'm like, I can't.
mm,
I would be so mad if I see my cousins wearing that type of outfits, going around doing that, and like that's influencing younger kids to be like, oh, well,
yeah.
I'm her age, kind of thing. Like I could dress like that too, right? Like I don't know if they realize how much like the music in the industry that these artists do influence a lot of old or not old younger generations and that they like the younger generations get that feeling of I want to be just like them. Like it's different when it comes to like the older generation stands where they're like, "Oh, I don't need to dress like them. I don't need to, do all this stuff like them." But younger generations tend to want to do the
They
same
want to
things.
copy. Mm,
Yeah, exactly. And so it's just like I don't want my child to be dressing up like this like girl who's like pretty much in short shorts and like a tank top in the winter dancing like she's supposed to be in her 30s 20s. So it's like totally different, but then part of me feels like is it because they're trying to follow certain western kind of imaging, because like if you look at a lot of Western artists, they dress like that already. You know what I mean? But they're at the appropriate age in a way
That's why
to
I
dress
don't
like that.
think you would see a 14-year-old here. Like,
Unless they're like trying to catch drama or just,
yeah,
you know.
it's just like if you know that someone is so young, then you kind of question everyone that works with them because it's like, why are you making them so sexualized and they're so young? That makes you look weird,
Yeah.
like a
It's
pedophile.
just yeah, no, it really is. Like that's what I like if I ever got the chance to work in the industry in Korea, wouldn't mind picking their brains about that. Like why is that? You know, like why is the girls so sexualized more than the guys? Or why are they so sexualized such at a young age? Because if you look at it, like when the guy groups do debut, there's it's a whole different kind of type of debut, you know? Even like now, like they might be a little bit more hardcore, just a little bit, but it's not to the point where they're like their abs are already showing, you know? And yeah, I don't know.
No,
It's just
it's
it's
really different.
how different it is. And it's just like if you're trying to follow Western traditions or trying to like be kind of in the same level, it's like it's it's not hitting it because it's like the artists that do come out at that age don't wear stuff like that or don't do that type of like kind of dance moves. So it's like what is the thing that you're doing right and what is the thing you're doing wrong, you know?
It's just weird. Like, what are you trying to accomplish by doing
Mhm.
that? You know? Oh, it's
Yeah.
creepy.
Just to think about it. It's just so weird. I think that's like, yeah, a lot of the reasons why like I don't look at girl groups too much because of that, because it just feels weird and it doesn't feel right. So I just like listen to their music because their musics are actually some of them are pretty good, you know, but sometimes it's just like I can't listen to them for too long. I really can't. But Blackpink is different though. But they still get sexualized a lot too. But I like their music. And I like them at a different time in my life when well no, it feels like they've always been sexualized. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about that part.
Well, I was gonna ask you, or did you still want to talk about girl groups?
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay, well, I was curious if
Hmm.
you ever thought about, like, if you were to be friends with someone, like, from a group, whatever group, like, do you think, could you picture yourself being friends with them, like, based on your personalities?
Oh
Did you
yeah.
ever think about that?
Actually, it's funny. I always say this. Um, Jonghan from 17, he's my best friend. Like, I love him. He's such my best friend. Like, like, he's not even like part of my, like, I know he's been up there recently. Like, he's good looking. He's a good dancer. He's a good singer. But he's such a devil. And it feels like it's just like me. Like he's like such a prankster, and it feels like if we were ever friends, like it feels like we would be pranking and joking around with other members so much. And like I don't know. He's just like my best friend. I love him. Like yeah, I love him. It feels like me and him would pick on S Coop so much. Like so much. It's just like I don't know, like yeah, every time like if I ever were to have a friendship with anyone in like the K-pop world, I would love to have a friendship with Junghan. Like, oh my God. Yeah.
Wow.
Even like
You
when I
picked
see
him pretty
like
fast.
yeah, no, it's like I already knew the answer. Like I know. Like even when I saw him on in concert, when I see like I pull his photo card from his like the album, I'm like, "Oh my God, I got my best friend." You know, like it's just he's my best friend. Junghan, if you're listening to this, I love you. But yeah, what about you? If you were to pick.
um, it's hard to just pick one. Because it's like, I don't know, I just see myself fitting in so well with a lot of people. I don't know if that's just the type of person that I am. I I've been told that I'm the kind of person that a lot of people like feel is easy to talk to or like get along with really easily. So I don't know if I can just pick one that I think I would be like really, because I don't know. It's hard. I just see myself being friends with all of them like easily.
Yeah, I see that too. Like I would want to be friends with all of them. Every single one of them. Like it feels like we would have like I would always find it feels like I would always find something to do. Always like feel like, just have a good time. You know, I think with 17, just because there's like 13 members in there, it feels like I'll be really overwhelmed if we're all hanging out together, honestly. Like
Yeah.
if we were all in one, like, just hanging out in one, this feels like I'll be really overwhelmed. But at the same time, I don't think I'd be bored. Like
Oh no.
I would just be like jumping off the walls happy. It'd be so much fun. I think I would want to spend like a good Actually, I don't even think I could spend a good day with them. It feels like I need to spend like a whole like week with
Week.
them.
Yeah.
It feels like a week would be a good like, just hanging out. It feels like they're fun to hang out with when they're drunk. Because I've seen like the videos they do and like when they're like drinking and it's just like they're so fun. And then like it feels like Hoshi cries every time he drinks, and I feel like I want to just give him a hug every time he drinks, and it's just
God.
like, I'll take good care of you,
Hoshi's so cute.
And then with S Coops, it feels like I'm gonna like get like lost in shots because he feels like he's always like another one, another one, another one. I'm just like shit.
You're like, wait.
Yeah. And then Jongha, he's just
Um,
like, ugh, he's my best friend. I love it. Feels like I'd have a good time fooling around,
who do
just
you
like having fun with everyone.
who do you think I would get along with best in BTS? I'm curious to know what you think.
Hmm. I want to automatically say Hobie just because he's a dancer, but it feels like you guys would get along, but I also want to say Tay. But then I also want to say, it feels like I want to say all.
See?
I
I
think
think
I want to say Tay. Yes, because you guys can be like really like funny together because he has this like funny side and is good, and then like you're a good listener, and I have a feeling like if he needs to talk to someone, like like you would be able to talk to him about it because it feels like he has a lot of those moments where he just like likes talking to people, like just letting out his feelings. Like, yeah, feels like that would be
I
good.
to me I always feel like me and Hobie are kind of similar because we can kind of I don't know how to say it, but like we just how everyone is really different. Like they all have their own personalities, so you kind of have to like not be a certain way with them, but it's like you kind of change a little bit, like depending who you're with, right? So I feel like I would kind of be able to do that too. Like with Hobie, we could both be chaotic, but we can also know when to be serious or when to just talk or when to have fun and stuff.
No, I can see that. That's why I was like already aiming for Hobie, but I was like, is it for the right reasons? But no, it was for the right reasons. But yeah,
And we dance. How fun.
yeah. It feels like you guys can have like a dance competition. It's
Uh,
crazy like thinking about like it feels like you're gonna lose though,
I
honestly.
would definitely lose.
I don't know if other K-pop stands like thought about this. Like if like I don't know, for me, because I like 17 and I like BTS, like I've always wanted to see Hobie and Hoshi dance it off. Like I would love to see them have a dance off.
I think
I
I'd
don't know who would
die.
win because they're both really good dancers, like really good dancers, and like that's why I think I would love to see them dance, like, have a little dance off. So, I definitely would want to see that happen in the future. But I also wouldn't mind seeing Jimin and they dance too because they have like that kind of like the what's the type of dance? Rhythmic? No, can't think of the word. They have like that type of dancing, and they're like really like flowy and just so elegant with their
Contemporary?
dance. There you go.
Yeah.
Contemporary. They're both contemporary dancers. So it's just like I wouldn't mind seeing like, them doing a little they probably wouldn't do a dance off, but just dancing together, I think it would be so beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. I think that would
Gosh.
be interesting.
I think my love for like K-pop groups is, I don't know how to. It's just so different because like also because of dance. It's like I also appreciate them so much because of their dancing skills, and it's, oh gosh.
I think that's why I guess I'll stop gatekeeping. But you should really watch 17's like dancing. It's so good. It's really good. Especially if they're like doing like the aerial shots. So like you see like their transitions are just so smooth.
Mm.
I remember that's one thing that Camille used to tell me about, is, like how their transitions, like there's such good transitions. It's just like, it's so beautiful. It's just like, oh my God.
I
And like it's
remember.
yeah.
Oh, are you?
No, I was just saying, it's like because like they're so different, like different heights, they're not all the
Mm.
same. So it's just like though they jump, it's just like they jump so perfectly in line that's like, yeah. Anyway, you were saying?
No, I just remember when um, me and Camille used to watch BTS, and one of my friends, well, I guess he was your friend too. He was our coworker.
Can you like type it out? Which one are you
Well,
talking
you
about?
might be able to know.
Okay, we'll just keep going with this conversation,
Well,
then I may remember.
because he knew how I'm a dancer, and so he told me like who choreographed Not Today, and the choreographer was like one of my favorite choreographers. So I was like, I instantly knew
Who
like, wow,
who choreographed that today?
Keone Madrid.
Oh, really? Wait, why did I not?
I feel like you
Maybe
probably just forgot.
yeah, maybe.
But yeah, when he
Sorry.
told me that, I was like, oh, I don't even have to see it. Like I know they can dance if he's if he was choreographing it for them. So I just, I don't know. I think that's a big reason why I got into K-pop though, is because of like the groups dancing.
They're just so good. I was just like, it's so smooth, and it's just like I could get lost in their dancing. I remember I was watching Jimin's, he did this dance. I think it was to Butterfly. I think it was Butterfly. I can't remember now. I feel horrible. But like he was doing like this dance. It was just him, and it was just so beautifully done. I was just like lost in the video. It was just like, oh my gosh. Like whenever he just, and it's not just him, like when it's all the members, it's just like, wow.
No,
That's just
Black
like great.
Swan. Mm.
Oh, Black Swan.
Oh.
Oh my God. That's such a beautiful, like
Gorgeous.
it's so beautiful. It's just like wow.
I'm pretty sure
Like
I almost teared up. Or I did tear up just watching.
I remember I saw it live, but I also remember seeing the DVD like of their online concert one where he did his the solo one by himself. Oh my God, he just looks so beautiful. But yeah, such a good choreo. It's just amazing. And I just sometimes though, I feel so bad for them because how much work they put into it and how
Mm.
much time they put into it just to make it perfect. I'm just like, I think even if you did the bare minimum, it would have been perfect. But I don't know.
Oh, it makes me so sad how Jungkook used to be so hard on himself if he would mess up. Like
They would
I'm,
all be hard on themselves. I feel horrible about that. I was just like,
I don't
stop
remember
it.
which like documentary it was, but you know how Jungkook messed up, and then when he went backstage, he started crying, and they were all like
I
comforting
think, yeah.
him. Yeah, and I was like, oh
It's
my
like,
god. I'm so glad he's like, he's past that now, and he kind of can
yeah.
laugh at himself.
I love they're all past that. It's really just like I hate it when they push themselves too hard. It's just like
Hmm.
even if you guys mess up, it's okay. We'll still love the performance. It's still gonna be beautiful because, like it's still amazing. But yeah, no, I know which one you're talking about. They
Yeah.
really do put a lot of, especially him. Maybe I think it's because he's like the youngest
Yeah.
and like all eyes are on him and
A
he
lot of
wants to like,
pressure.
yeah, a lot of pressure. And I mean, it's understandable, but at the same time, like I really hope like now it feels like it, like he's starting to like grow from that, and it feels really
Yeah.
good. You know, it's crazy to see of how much they've
How much
grown
they've
over the
grown.
years.
Oh,
And
I'm
like,
so proud of them.
yeah, yeah. So it's always like, so I'm really proud of them, what they're doing now, what they're about to do. I think it's really, what's the word? Honorable? Is
Mm.
honorable the right word? Something like that. But yeah, they really do. They deserve whatever, whatever's coming, even if we're gonna see them in two,
Don't
almost two
don't
years, 18
say it.
months.
Don't.
It's okay. I've come to terms with it. It's
They
funny because, like,
wanted to.
yeah, no, it's funny because, like, I remember when I first heard about it, I was sad. Like, I was really sad. But then it took me a little bit to, like, come to terms, like, no, it's okay. It's for the best. Like, they need to do this. They want to do this. It's for their country. It's for their culture. And, it's good for them. It's like, and it's okay. I get a little break. But in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, no, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'm not gonna cry. It's fine. And then like as like the days start coming before Jin's enlistment, I'm like, oh, it's fine. A couple more days, a couple more days. And I'm enjoying his release, everything like that. And I didn't think I would get sad on the day, but as soon as I saw the post, I was just like, I'm crying. Like, why? No. But now I'm okay. I think each time each member leaves, I'm just gonna go back to
Oh
that.
no.
Yeah.
If we
I
have
mean, I
to
am
do
proud
this.
of them though. I really
Yeah.
am. Like, I'm glad they're able, and like even before their time that they're gonna get enlisted, I'm glad they're able to have like a little bit of a break right now, get to like center
Mm.
themselves, get to like see, what else is out there for themselves. I'm really proud so far of all their solo works. They're putting so much work into it. I hope, they do get all the rest they deserve. So, like I'm really proud of them and I can't wait to hear the other members solos. Like I just can't wait. It's gonna be crazy. And
Yeah.
like Shonu left. I remember a friend was saying like, to help me feel better. She was like, Shonu left like what almost 2 years ago. She was like, "Look how fast it was. It's gonna be the same for BTS." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. It's gonna be as fast." I'm like, "It's only, it's not." No, like she was like I had another friend who was like, "Yeah, don't think about it as 2 years. Just think about it as 18 months." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, yeah, you're right. 18 months doesn't sound as bad as 2 years. 18 months."
Well, if you think about it, time really does fly by.
Mhm. It
So
really does.
it's gonna go by quickly.
It really
I
is.
mean,
And I'm sure like with what like Hive, Big Hit, like I'm sure they're gonna release something while
mhm.
all if they're all gone at the same time already. I'm sure they're gonna release something, and like they're not gonna be like out of like out of nowhere. They're always gonna be there. And the great part is about is like also like the community, like armies, like we're still here to support them, and we're all like still such like we're such a good community. Like if you're feeling like you're sad or you're feeling like you do miss them, honestly, reach out to another army and I think you'll help a lot, having like, your friends there. It reminds you like they're doing a good thing, you know.
It doesn't even feel like Jin is gone sometimes because of the content that they're putting out. Like he's still
Hmm.
there, you know.
Yeah, it really is. Like, and even like they've already released a couple like photos from his base, I think. And it's just like, at least we still get to see him little by little, It's like it's not like he's completely out of the picture, he's still there and he's like we're still waiting for him. And I hope they really do believe us when we say we're not leaving, that we're gonna be
Oh
right
yeah.
here no matter what.
It made me so sad when Hobie went live after his New Year's
Oh,
performance.
yeah.
Yeah, talking about Jin. But it makes me so happy too, knowing
Yeah.
that they're still able to
They're still
talk.
yeah, they're still able to talk. That gives me like, oh, that's great. You
Yeah,
know?
that makes me so happy.
Yeah.
But I was
Yeah.
so
So I
sad to
can't
hear the
wait.
story. Like, damn
I know.
it.
But it's still like, it's really like, it's really good. I hope, like, I wish them all the luck and I wish them all the best. And I really hope, they get to have that recharge before they leave and they get to, be able to um find that meaning into what they're doing again. Because I know like a lot of like I think it was Namjoon that was saying how like he felt like lost or something with
Mm,
this music.
yeah.
So it's like, when he was writing like Wildfire, he felt like that and like he was starting, question a lot. And I'm glad like as he was writing, he was able to like figure that out for himself, figure out why he's doing it again. And, I think that's also why I love his album so
You
much.
can
It's just
just see how he really like
mm-hmm.
fell in love with it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can
Like you
really
can
see that
feel that.
development in it. Mm-hmm. Especially in his lyrics, the way he like raps and sings in it. It's just like you could see that passion like in his eyes again.
Hmm.
And I don't know, I think that's what makes me love those songs even more
Yeah.
because of that. And I can't like, like with all of them, I can't wait to see that different side of them because like I even saw that with Hobie's like solos, like you saw that different side of Hobie. Like his last like mixtape, I guess like, it's like his bubbly and like, his happy and good like, good I don't know how to say it. But yeah, his bubbly side, his J-Hope side, the side that we all know about. And, when Arson came out, it was just like, or Jack in the Box and all that, it's just like, well, it's a whole different side. It was like it's hardcore rapping, like a little bit of rock in there. It's just like,
Yeah.
well, it's a different side, but I like
It
it.
was a whole different
It
side of
was a whole
him.
different side of Hobie. It's like a little bit of his dark side coming out. And I know like years before, I remember people would talk about how like that's what Hobie wants to be able to release. And that's what, like there's a whole different side of Hobie not being always happy. And that Hobie is like there's a whole different side of him that doesn't come out. And I'm glad he was able to put that out in Jack in the Box. And I'm like, that's really beautiful and I really like that. I think, I can't wait to see what the other songs and albums. I think there was only one little disappointment I got out of all of it is Jin only had one song, just one song.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was still a beautiful song though.
Oh,
So
it's
beautiful. It
amazing.
was it was a beautiful song. I love that song. I love it.
And it's
But
his
I was a
letter to
little bit
Army.
disappointed that it was only just one. But I understand. It's okay. It's fine. It was still amazing.
Well, because he was trying to put it out before he left,
Yeah.
since it was
Yeah, that's fine.
for
Yeah.
Army. So,
Yeah, it was for Army.
yeah,
So I
we
understand. I
get
get
it.
it. Yeah, I totally understand. I get it. It's fine. You know.
I am
But
really excited because they're all so different. So it's kind of funny to see, when they're all together, they kind of
mm,
have to have that similar like
mm,
style being together, but now that they can show their individual sides and their individual styles, like I'm really interested to see what kind of music they're going to put out for themselves, and it's just really going to show you another side of
kind of.
them. Yeah.
I think this kind of brings back to what we were saying um how we were saying about their personalities, how we would like to meet like that personality that they don't show. And I
Yeah.
think a little bit of that is coming out from what they're releasing in their solos and what's happening in these next few months before they start enlist more members start enlisting. So it's really interesting to see their solo works and I'm really proud of them. I'm like really can't wait to see what else is in store. It's just like, whoa. Yeah. I think my whole other like proud army moments are gonna come out and I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna stream as much as I can, do what I can for them, and
Oh,
just,
Jungkook with
show them.
Dreamers. I was so proud of him.
I know. That one was really good. And the performance, oh my God. That was so
I
good. Honestly,
died.
what was it? I saw something on TikTok, I think it was TikTok or Instagram where it was like the only reason there's like so many girls watching the FIFA was because of Jungkook's performance, and I'm just like, yeah, that's probably the reason why I'm watching too. I literally only watched the opening ceremony.
Me too.
That was the only thing I watched, and then the last game. And I barely watched that game. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I was like hoping they would like show Jungkook maybe there if he was there, or maybe he'll do a surprise like performance again. Uh, he didn't, but but like part of me was like that when I was watching it. But I was really proud. Yeah, it was a really good game, you know. But yeah, it was just funny.
Was it a good game? You watched the game?
Uh-huh. Don't ask me who won.
Exactly. Jungkook won.
Jungkook won. Oh my God, that was so funny because like when afterwards, as I was like looking through Twitter, like all the socials, I just love how like all the armies were like Jungkook won a lot. I'm like, oh, he did because I don't remember who won.
Army's
It's
memes
so
are
bad.
too funny.
Oh my God, I love them though. They're hilarious, but I love them. They like I think that's what makes like my mood extra up sometimes when I'm like down. Like I always go and try to find like the funny like army memes and like all that stuff. So I think
It's
it's
just
funny.
a really fun community to be part of.
It
Like,
really is. And I love being part of it. I love you guys. Bri. I purple you guys. Like,
oh.
um did I say you? I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'm
that's
kidding.
crazy. I guess
I'm kidding.
she means it to every army except for me.
Exactly. No, I'm just kidding. I know, it's just so beautiful and I think it's just an amazing community to be in that I never thought that I needed to be in, you know?
It's like
Like
having
I
a whole
never
other family.
it really is. It really, really is. Like, yeah, no. It's like it's hard to explain to other people how 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 we are as a community because like I don't think they would fully understand
Unless
unless
you're
you're
in
in
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's yeah, it's just crazy. And if it's crazy because like so many of us have each other's back, you know? Like if we hear something happen to another army, we're just like that with the boys. Like, oh, who are they? Who do we need to like who did we knock doors down for? Like we're there for them. And I think that's so amazing because sometimes whenever I looked at like I go through like Facebook, I'm part of like a lot of army like fandom pages.
Groups.
So I
Yeah.
like, I'll read a lot of their stories. I read so much, and I'd see so many armies. Like you don't even know who they really are. You only know them through like the internet, pretty much. And it's just like you read it, you're just like, wow, they're so sweet. And you think that it's only through the internet, but then like I've met some armies outside of the internet. Like I've actually met them face to face, and they're as sweet. And I'm just like, why? How can you be so nice in real life? What? Sometimes it's so hard. It's sometimes till this day it's hard to believe how some of them are really nice.
That's
But
why
just
I
don't get them
think.
mad.
Well, yeah, that's a different
Yeah, just don't get them
story.
mad. Just don't get them mad. It's just a whole different, yeah.
But that's why people who aren't K-pop stands, they just won't understand what we mean, or like maybe they
hmm
do, but only to a certain extent. Like you don't really get it unless you experience it
Yeah,
for yourself.
exactly. Yeah, no, I totally understand. It's crazy. I think it's pretty crazy. But I guess it's just like it's just like for anything else. I guess like you don't really know the situation. You don't know what the person likes unless you're in it. Like I guess that could be said about anything
Yeah.
someone likes, like, boys in their cars. I guess you really don't know how they feel about it or what the real situation is unless you're in it to understand it.
Because
So it's
it
just like
means something to them.
it means something to them. So it's like if that's the case for that, I think it's the same thing for like anyone who likes K-pop too, or even not even just K-pop, but just like any other genre in music. Like don't think you have the full right to judge the person because they like that type of music. Like yes, I like K-pop, but don't assume right away that yes, okay, I do love BTS, yes, but don't assume right away that instantly I'm a BTS stan. You know what I mean? Like I hate that sometimes. Like it irritates me whenever someone finds out that I like um K-pop. They're like, "Oh, you must be a BTS stan, right? You like K-pop because of BTS, right?" I'd be like, I'll look at them and be like, "No. Yes, I do like BTS and yes, they hold a big place in my heart, but they're not the reason why I like K-pop. They're far from the reason why I like K-pop, you know?" It's like it's just like it's like a nerve every time someone says something like that, I'm just like, for one, I like other K-pop groups, so don't even get me started.
That's just because they only say that because that's the only K-pop group that they know.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's just like, ugh, it's so irritating. But it's just like, you know what? It's fine. Sometimes I'll just let it be, but if they irritate me too much, I'd be like, actually, let me put you in your place.
Yeah, because it's like it's not just BTS, so
Hmm.
don't
Yeah,
talk
exactly.
about like don't act like you know what you're talking about. You
Hmm.
obviously don't.
Exactly. And it's just funny. Sometimes, like, it's just funny how many people could do that. It's just like, I don't judge you on the songs you listen to. And it's just like, I could totally backfire and you'd be like, do you even understand half the things that, let's just like put on top of my head, just like the rappers that be rapping, like half the
Yeah.
time they're rapping about the same thing, guns, sex, and drugs. Same thing, just different words.
Or you
Do
can't
I go
even
at you
understand
about that?
them.
Yeah, half the time I don't even, they're speaking English, by the way.
Yeah,
And it's just
yeah.
like, do you see me going off at you by the music you listen to? No. So don't go off at me for listening to K-pop. It's just like, don't even try it. Like there's like sometimes you probably don't even listen to half the things they're even saying. So why do you like that music? Like you don't see me asking those questions
Yeah.
to you. And it's just like, if I like this, I like it. Why do you have to ask my reasonings for it? Like, do you even care why I actually like it, or you're just finding more reasons to judge me for it? It's just, yeah.
People are so quick to judge or put you down, and
Hmm.
for what? Like one
Yeah.
thing that one reason I really like Stray Kids is because of Changbin and like his flows when he's rapping. He's so good, and I don't have to understand what he's saying. I just know that I like his flow. I like like how he performs. He's so good, and you can't even understand your rapper when he's speaking English. So
Exactly. I could say the same thing with S. Coops. Like his rapping is, I love his deep voice when he raps and when he growls. Oh my God. Anyway, oh, but like yeah, I might not understand what he's rapping about at first, but I still like the way he raps.
yeah,
And that could be the same thing about whoever rapper you're listening to, or not even just rappers, whoever you're listening to as music artists. And it's just like you have your reasons and I have mine. And what makes it sometimes funny is like they'll go off even with like the whole, oh, they wear makeup. Oh,
oh.
they look like girls. And I'm just like, who, what? Yes, they wear makeup, and yes, I do understand. Yes, sometimes they go a little overboard on makeup, but sometimes it's because of the music videos and it's the concept they're trying to portray and they're trying to,
Mhm.
do all these things. And it's just like, don't even. Like, you do realize your artists that you listen to also wear makeup. It might not be as heavy as K-pop makeup, but it's also makeup. It's just like, don't even come at
Actors,
me. Yeah,
musicians, like they're
exactly.
all wearing makeup, so don't even try to bring that
Exactly.
up. And it's like
And it,
they're so insecure with their own sexuality that they don't
mhm.
understand.
Yeah. And it's funny because like all these like, you do realize like probably all these hardcore rappers probably do wear makeup when they do their like music videos, their photo shoots, their probably even on stage. They probably do get their nails done too. And it's just like, why does it have to, it's okay for other people to do it, but once it's a K-pop artist that, girls like, guys like, they all of a sudden have to put in their 2 cents and be like, oh, they're so feminine. Oh, they're wearing makeup. They look so, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, so what? Who cares that they
When
wear makeup?
did makeup or nail polish
Mm-hmm.
when did that become only a feminine thing?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not. Like it's just makeup, it's just nail polish. Anybody can wear it. Anybody
Yeah,
can do whatever
exactly.
they want with it.
Exactly. It's just like, like, why do you have to judge a person by their looks like that? And it's like, so what if they look pretty? Yeah, they're pretty. There are these
They're
like,
pretty as fuck.
13 gorgeous men doing their facial. You know what? They take care of their body. They know how to do the right things to their faces. Who gives a shit? That's who they are. That's not what my first instinct is when I see them. You know, like I listen to their voices. I listen to the song. I hear the meaning to it. Like I see their dance moves, whether they're sexy dance move, whether they're regular, hardcore, whatever. I see it and I see how much work they put into it. And I see the passion in their love for the music from what they give us. Is that not good enough for me to like these guys, these whatever group, whatever, whoever I'm like into?
To me, it's like people, even if they're singing in English, you can understand them right away. But are you really like, you have to really listen to understand the message. So for me,
Yeah.
it's like with K-pop, it's the same thing. It's like you listen, you don't really understand it right away. It's easy to just look up the lyrics and what it means. So it's kind of like, I don't know why people judge just because it's in a different language. You know, it's not that hard to
Yeah.
just look up what it means.
Yeah, even with like Western artists, like sometimes I will still look up the lyrics just
Yeah.
because like sometimes you don't hear all the words they're
Mm-hmm.
saying. Sometimes you think they're singing one thing, but actually they sing a whole different thing. So it's
Yeah.
just like isn't it almost the same thing, you know? And it's funny because like there's I think it's at least to be like there's people who for instance, like listen to Spanish music and they
Mm-hmm.
don't even know Spanish. They're not even like, any Latin,
Yeah.
any of that. And they love all these Spanish music. So it's like, so what's the difference with you liking Spanish from me liking K-pop? Like you're not Spanish, I'm
Yeah.
not Korean. So it's just like, what's the difference there? Like
Exactly.
I find interest in it and you find interest in the music. I don't judge you, but you're judging me. So how is that fair, you know?
Yeah, because it's like
And it's just like,
you can just vibe to the beat or the
mm-hmm.
music without
Mm-hmm.
knowing what they're saying. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
It's just a different
exactly.
language.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, so why does it matter what I like, what you like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I think the moral of the whole thing is just don't judge people from what they're in, not even just like music, but what they're interested in general. Because like
Mm-hmm.
you could say this about like animes, you know? You know, people like watching animes. Like for me, for instance, I love animes, like whatever, I might be not be a hardcore, but there's still people who are hardcore and people get judged about it because they're like, oh, what do the people like probably say like, oh, they're just cartoons. Oh, they're
Yeah.
in a different language. Like, like stuff like that. And you're just like, well, you're watching like telenovelas over here. You don't speak Spanish. Like, why do I care what you think? You know what I mean? It's just like,
No, you know what pisses me off is when people are like so against watching something in a different language, whether it's anime, K dramas, telenovelas, whatever it is, just because it's in a
mhm,
different language, because they
yeah.
don't want to read subtitles. Like, are you
It's,
fucking serious?
it's
Do
so
you know how
funny.
much you're missing out on? How many
It's just so
shows are so
funny. I
good?
feel like, yes, you have to read. Big whoop. Who cares? It's funny though because like I remember when I was like in high school. I think it was like high school when I first started getting into K-dramas. The reason why I didn't want to get into K-dramas was because I had to read. But that was the younger me. That was the stupid naive me. And then when I started watching it, I'm just like, what? Like I was in a whole different world. I was like, I'm just missing out. And I was like, who cares? I have to read. Even when I started watching animes, it's just like, oh, I don't want to read this. And they talk so fast, whatever, But at the end of the day, I'm like, I really love it and I like it. But. And if I miss
I'll
something, it's just like, well, I still understood. I
I'll
know what's going
admit
on.
that it was when I first started watching anime, it was hard for me to like get used to reading and
Hmm.
looking at the
Yeah.
scene at the same time. But I mean, obviously now like it's been years, so now I'm
Hmm.
used to it. But I remember at
Yeah.
first, like even with K dramas too, it was hard because you want to see what's going on
Yeah.
or their expressions, but you also have to read fast enough.
Yeah. Sometimes that's why I watch like usually like the series or dramas twice because it's like the first time I'm like really focused on the reading and like trying to look at their faces and everything. And then the second time I'm really just focused on their faces a little bit more and reading a little bit.
Mhm.
But like with animes, I like rewatching them with like the English dub now, just so I could focus on their faces now. And like yeah, I like, oh, that's what they were saying. Oh, that's that's what they were doing this whole time. Okay. So it's like those moments. I think that's the only time I would listen in English dub if it comes out in English, just so I could just pay more attention to what's happening, and so I could do other things around the house if I was like doing errands. But yeah.
See, I always like when I would watch K dramas, I would always want to just know what they're saying without reading. So I mean, that's always why I
I
wanted
think
to like learn
yeah, learn.
Korean.
Oh
But
my God.
I mean,
Like
and
yeah.
now that I'm like into K-pop, of course I want to learn even more. But it
Mhm.
started with K-dramas because I was like, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not that I like didn't want to read, but sometimes you're just
You
too
just want to do other
tired, or
things at the
yeah,
same,
you're
yeah.
doing something at the same
But you want to
time.
watch, but you still want to be able to like, I totally understand. It's funny because like I think I don't remember who I was telling this to, but it kind of like irritated me a little bit. I was just like, "Oh yeah, I want to learn Korean." And I remember the person was just like, "Oh, so you can listen to your K-pop." And I'm like, "No, so I could watch my K-dramas." Like, what? Like K-pop wasn't even in my head thinking about wanting to learn Korean. Like
Yeah.
I don't even care if like I under like like that's like the furthest thing. Like I just want to watch my K-dramas like while I'm doing the laundry, folding my clothes, like doing errands around the house, or like I don't have to like pay attention to what I'm reading. I could just actually look at
Mm-hmm.
their faces, like that's the only reason why I would really, really want to learn. And the culture is pretty cool, and like I just want to learn too. But like that's like a big reason to why is I want to watch my K-dramas.
I
But
know.
yeah.
I feel like when people hear that, like that I want to learn Korean,
Hmm.
they're like, "Oh, it's just because you got into K-pop." And I'm like, "No,
Hmm.
I've been watching K-dramas for years actually."
Yeah.
Like
And you're just like, I've been wanting to learn Korean for years, like
yeah.
way before I started listening to K-pop. So, excuse you. It's funny because like I remember my first year of college when I actually took Japanese, like the language in
Mm.
DVC, and the reason why I wanted to take is so I could watch my animes. But then it was so hard, and I was like, and then I found out I didn't need to take a language class anymore, and I was like, you know what, I'll just come back to this.
I was going to say I never knew you took Japanese.
Yeah, I took Japanese for like for one semester, I think, or for a couple of months. I dropped it before. Yeah, no, I dropped it before like it would show up on my transcripts or whatever. So yeah, I took Japanese for a little bit. I think I threw away the notebook for it. But
I
yeah,
really
it
never
was
knew
so
that.
hard, and I wasn't. I yeah, you learned something new about me. It was all because I was watching Naruto. Yeah. Honestly, it was because I was like, I was kind of getting tired of reading it and doing school. And so I was like, you know what? Maybe if I take Japanese, it would make my life easier. And I took it. I thought I had to take another language. I just didn't need to. So I dropped it. Kind of wish I stuck to it, though. Kind of wish I stuck to it.
I want to learn so
Maybe,
many
yeah.
languages.
I still do want to learn Japanese, though.
I
And
took
also Korean.
sign language.
Really? Wait, no, it feels like I knew that.
I'm
Why does
pretty
it feel
sure
like
you knew that.
I
Yeah,
knew that? I
because
knew
I
that.
would go to
Yeah,
class right
yeah,
after
yeah.
work.
Yeah, yeah, no, 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 I knew that.
You knew
I think it
that.
was just pretty. I
See?
feels like I should have taken it too, because like my friend took it, and it feels like I should have taken it with her. I think I was just too scared.
I love
I don't
sign
know.
language. I want to like be able to be inclusive with them, with deaf people and their community, because I think it's unfair that we can't communicate with them. Like I don't understand why we learn cursive in school but not like sign
Like we
language.
should learn. We should have learned. Feels like that's something we should have learned, even if it's just like the basic ones, like really, like simple.
Yeah.
It feels like we should have learned. It feels like I remember,
Mm.
at least in my elementary, I think we only learned like how to do the alphabet in sign language,
Mm.
but that's about it. But it feels like I wish I learned more. It's actually pretty cool.
That's
Watching it though,
why
it gets so intimidating sometimes. I'm just like, whoa, that's so much.
uh no, I love it. And when I saw Tay doing sign language, oh, my heart. And my
That
bias
bias.
in ATs, he just put out something, and
Hmm.
he had sign language in his choreography, and I was like, oh my god, I love him.
You know, Permission to Dances has sign language in their choreography. I think that was really cool. I think that was so cool. I was like, whoa.
I know.
I
I love it.
love it. Yeah,
I want to learn more sign language. I want to be
I do.
fluent.
Yeah. I want to learn. I want to learn so many different languages though.
Me too.
I think it's also because like I also want to travel like so much to different
Well,
countries
I just
and
want
just,
to
you
like
know.
be able to communicate with everybody, you know? I hate
Mhm.
that language barrier, and I want
Mhm.
everyone to feel included and be able to have someone that they can communicate with. So,
No, yeah, no, I feel it. I understand what you mean. And one day we'll start learning. Let's take it a step at a time. I don't think I can learn all those languages all at the same time.
oh no, definitely not.
Yeah, I don't think I can
I am
learn. I
jealous
don't
of
think I
people
can learn.
who know like 5 languages though.
Oh my God, I know, right? And they're like still learning. Like, oh yeah, I'm learning this now. I'm like, oh my God, okay.
That's
Yeah.
why, like, for me, it's like I know a little bit of Tagalog, I know a little bit of Spanish, I know some sign language, I know some Korean, but I'm not fluent in those. So I
Same.
don't count
That's
it.
ex I wish in high school they gave more options for different languages. Like, yeah, I
I know,
took
right?
Spanish. I'm not fluent in it. I barely remember half the words like. Same with Tagalog. I understand it, but I don't speak it that much. Um, I guess I know a little bit of Korean from all the K-dramas, a little bit, but not enough to actually have a conversation. Barely know English. Questionable language I don't even know half the time I'm saying. So, it's like I know all these languages, but I barely know anything from it.
Aren't you kind of glad that, like, our first language is English, though? Or, like, our main language? Because it seems really hard to learn.
No,
If
it really
it's
is.
hard for us and we're fluent.
Dude, they're like I remember like I think it was my cousin. She wanted to like do something for like studying English or she had like an English exam. She was like, "You're gonna help me with English, right?" And I'm like, "No." Like I barely know English myself. Like how am I supposed to help you? Like really? Like I like fail like I failed the English. Like it's so bad.
Punctuation and all the grammar. It's so
No.
hard.
Yeah. Like every time when they say like how Namjoon learned English through friends, like I remember in the beginning, I would just call bullshit on him. Like, no, you didn't. Like no. Like, how did you learn English through friends? Like, no. And it's just like it's hard to believe. But I'm like, you know what? No, he's smart. I could believe it. But it's just like and then like I hear like all the other members like learning English. I'm like, oh, I'm wishing you guys good luck because I barely remember half the things I say
It's
or
so
learn in
hard.
my English class. It's just like, dang. But I mean, it feels like any language would be hard to
You know what I
navigate.
also hate though? Is when people assume that just because they're Korean idol that they don't speak English. I
Mm,
hate that so much.
yeah.
Like,
But I love it when they put them in their place. I'm just like, yes,
yeah, right.
you speak English, do it. It's
It's
so
just,
cute
it
though.
pisses me off. It's like, why do you
It really,
assume
yeah,
that they can't speak
yeah.
English just because they're
But yeah.
speaking in Korean right now?
Yeah, no, I just hate, but they can do that with a lot of language too. Like they assume they don't know English because they're a certain race, and it was just like, bro, what the
Mhm.
fuck, like don't just assume that right away. Yeah, they're not from here, but it doesn't mean they don't know the language. You know what I mean? It's just like it just shows how like uneducated you are, and just my jacket.
Was it the threads?
Yes. Whoever has the artist made Jungkook one, I hate the threads. Seriously, they're so annoying. They're all over the place. Anyway, look at it's just okay. But yeah, it's annoying. But I love it when they put them in their place. I'm just like, you go speak the English. But I am also proud of like the members now. Like before they relied so much on Namjoon on when he
Mm,
speaks English. And like you could
yeah.
tell he was starting to get like kind of tired and kind of
I
overwhelmed. And he
know.
said like how stressed he would get. But I'm kind of glad like all the other members are starting to like learn English and like uh trying to put in their like their help and everything, which is so cute. And like Hobie's English during New Year's, I was like, oh good, you've gotten so better. I'm so proud of you, you know. Yeah, but
No,
I
I
can't
felt
wait to hear
so
the others.
bad when, Namjoon used to be so tired because he would have to translate for them, and he was like, when did I become a translator? And
I
then
felt so bad.
when I saw that, like, Hobie even stopped him from translating because they had a translator, and he was like, no, don't. And I was like, oh my god.
He just got so used to it. It's just like, oh, my poor babies.
I
But
know.
I'm just glad, they're really trying. They're all really, really trying. It's just so cute. Honestly, it feels like some of the members knew more English than they should have. They would have. Or wait, they do know more English than they shared,
Then they show.
something like that. Yeah, yeah. They show. See, I told you I don't know English. Um,
Well, I
yeah, no, it
think
feels
it's
like
like, you know how you can understand easier than speaking it?
mm,
So I feel like that's what happens a lot of
they
times. It's
understood
like,
more.
yeah.
Oh no, but that's not what I'm talking about. It feels like they actually knew how to say certain words.
Oh no, yeah.
I've like, yeah, no, I've seen like what I think it's with Yoongi where like people are saying, "Oh no, he knows English. He's just too shy to like say something or something like that." I remember I would see so many posts of that before,
Hmm.
and like they would like show examples of him like, "See, he knows English," like blah 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 and all this stuff. I'm just like, you know what? Honestly, I kind of don't. I kind of believe it. Like they kind of make a point there. And then like they were saying like Jin, like how he went to like Australia for school or something. I can't remember now. But like he was like how could he not know English, like if he went there or something like that. So I'm sure he knows English or something like that. He just doesn't want to say anything. And I'm just like, huh, they kind of make a point there too. There's just like all these times I'm like, huh, okay. Well, I guess they got a point. But yeah.
I love those Yoongi ones where they're like, he actually
Yeah.
knows more English than you think. And
Hmm.
when that, like, there's that one interview and Namjoon's like telling the interviewer like, oh yeah, their English is like not that good, and then Yoongi just starts speaking in English, and he's like, okay, he wants to speak English today.
Oh my God, I love those ones. Uh,
They're so
I
funny.
guess, yeah, yeah, they're so cute. But yeah. Um, I was gonna say something and then I forgot.
I was gonna say you look like you had something on your mind.
I did it and it just went away. Huh?
Were you picturing Jimin again?
No.
Oh,
I knew it was something about Jimin though. It feels like could have
I
been.
was like, he's gonna get mad at you now.
Probably. You know what? I don't care. He can get mad at me all I want, all he wants. They show like tell me, Jimin stands like, do you guys go through the same pain I'm going through? Cause come on, guys, we need to stick together. But
Sure,
yeah,
Christina.
I just want to make him mad because he doesn't post anything. He doesn't show up.
I know. I laughed at like this post I saw that showed how many times all of the members posted this year, and then like Jimin's was like not that much, and Namjoon's was like this
He
long.
posted a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, should I just change my bias back to Namjoon? Because, but no, it's fine. It's fine. But like talking about like, I remember what I was gonna say.
Oh, good.
Like I wanted to know, um, like what is your opinion on like not just like BTS, but like a lot of like K-pop or Korean, um, their standards on, or not standards, but they're like kind of, how would you say like their not community, but like um how they how a lot of them don't date or they don't date publicly because of the fear of like their fans and stuff like that. What's your opinion on that? Like how do you feel like
Um,
about like K-pop artists, not even just uh, like the musicians or not they're just the ones in groups. I mean, the ones that are also in solo. Like, like it just recently came out that IU is
I.
dating. Yeah, I don't have to say everything. Okay. But yeah, IU is dating and there's like a lot of support in that, a lot of people. But then like there's been a couple of other artists through the years that were in the male groups who like came out they were dating someone, or they came out like they have like, a baby, or they have a girlfriend, like a lot of fans would jump into it and like, tear that person down, and like now they're probably not in the society, I guess you could say, or like they're out of the picture of a lot of groups, or stuff like that. Like, what's your opinion on it?
Well, I just think that I get it, like why they don't want to go public with things,
Hmm.
because when you're in a relationship, that's part of your private life, for sure. And if you're in such a public eye like they are, of course people are gonna say things, people are gonna judge or whatever. There's gonna be a lot of like controversial things about it. But I just hope that people would feel comfortable to share that with like their fans, because they're human too. You know, that's just part of life if you happen to fall in love with someone. And so I feel bad for them that they can't put that out there a lot of times because they're scared of like the backlash that they're going to get, or they like have a fear that they're going to lose fans. And it's like, why would people even stop being fans of them just because they're in a relationship? It's kind of like, there's no way that you were just a fan of them just because they were like, or you thought that they were single. Like, like, did you really think that you would have a chance with them? Like, that's the only reason you were
Like,
their
yeah.
fan, kind of thing.
Like, it's funny to joke around about and be like, yeah, I'm gonna end up with Jimin or whatever, like
Yeah.
it's fun to joke around about. It's just like all jokes, but like in the end of the day, like there's probably like a 1% chance I would actually meet Jim and fall in love with him and, have family with him. But it's fun to think about and imagine, I guess, like I'm
Yeah.
not telling people not to stop, or like I don't stop it. Like I'll still imagine my life with Jimin. I'll joke about around with it. But
Yeah,
then
but when it
if
gets to
he
that
find
serious
yeah,
point.
yeah, the serious point, yeah. It's just like if he finds someone, yeah, of course I'll be hurt. I'll still be like, "Oh," but at the end of the day I'm gonna be happy for him. Be like,
Yeah.
as long as this girl isn't you girl or guy, whatever, isn't gonna hurt him in the end, who isn't just after his money, then I'll be happy for him. Like, I want him to be happy. I want him to
Mm-hmm.
be able to find a significant other. Like of course I'm gonna feel hurt. Like I'm probably not alone in that. There's probably gonna be tons of fans, but am I gonna
Yeah.
stop being, in love with him? No, I'm gonna love him as an artist, like I've always have. I'm gonna love him. I'm gonna enjoy his music. I'm gonna enjoy what he puts out. Like just like normal. Like maybe I won't collect as much, it feels weird, but maybe, I don't know. We'll see when that time comes. But am I gonna stop loving him? Am I gonna put him down? Am I gonna tell him to stop doing his work? No, I wouldn't want to do that because that's his passion. That's what he loves to do. And like I hope he finds a girl or guy for him. Whoever makes him happy. If it's not me, then oh well. If it's me, then yes. Like, see what I mean? But it's like jokes. But I mean,
Yeah.
maybe
But
there's like a
it's
1%
just,
chance of it being serious. But if
no,
it
it's
happens, it
just
happens.
weird when people are so serious about it that they would
Yeah, like,
stop being a fan just because they're in a
mm-hmm,
relationship. It's like,
mm-hmm.
yeah, you can joke around, or you can say like, there is a possibility I could end up with Jungkook one day, right? Like,
Everyone has a chance with anyone. Who knows?
yeah, but you're not gonna stop being a fan just because
Mm-hmm,
like he gets in a relationship with someone. At the end of the day, you
mm-hmm,
should support him as an artist or whatever he wants to do,
mm-hmm.
and you just want him to be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I
I
mean, like,
just,
yeah,
it's really weird
it's
when people are like
it's
that.
weird. I just think it's crazy because, like, I don't know, maybe it's because of where we are, how we are. Because, like, I've noticed a lot more of international fans, like Western fans, because they're so used to seeing their artists date and, like, whatever,
Yeah.
that, we're like, whatever about seeing BTS or even any K-pop. Because we're used to it from here. But it feels like because in Korea, at least at what I've noticed, is like they're not, it doesn't seem like they're used to it because that's what the industry puts out is like you can't date blah 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 because you want to make sure these fans look at you a certain way. And I think that's like,
That's
I don't know.
weird.
That's just like the weird, and I don't, that's the one thing I don't like about that industry part
Yeah.
is the fact that you're stopping them from dating and you're making it look like they have a chance. And it's just like, why would you put that already in their minds like that so
Mm-hmm.
quickly? It's just like what it's like kind of going back to like sexualizing them and just like, like putting them at a certain pedestal that
Yeah.
they have to stay at. Like what I like about with what like, like with a lot of other I think there's a lot of companies now have changed the rules. At least that's what I've heard, where they like, they took out the whole dating rule. Like they say
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, if you do, you do. If you don't, whatever. But like, I rather see them happy and,
Yeah.
be able to proudly share, be like, this is my wife, or like, this is my girlfriend, this is my husband, this is my, fiance, these are my kids. I want them to be able to be open
Mm-hmm.
to show them that, and not be afraid that this could ruin their career.
Because now, if they were to come public with something like
Hmm.
that, it's gonna be even worse when it goes public because they were like
Hiding.
forbidden to date or
Hmm.
whatever, you know?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I mean, even I just think it's just so weird. Like, real fans would still support you. So, I don't see
Yeah.
why they don't allow them to date. It's not gonna, like, they're off the market or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm
They've
not
been off the market
supporting
for a
them
long
just
time.
because they're single.
I know.
It's
It's
so
just
weird.
you don't want also it feels like you don't want the artists to keep thinking that also. Like thinking like, oh, they're only supporting me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm being idolized as their boyfriends, like or like giving them the imagination that they could have me one day. Like you don't want them to have that already in their minds as they're like performing, as they're, it feels like it puts to me at least it feels like it puts extra pressure on the artist
When
if
they
they
do.
keep thinking that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's like that doesn't feel like that's a great starting point for a lot of like, those artists and everything. But
That's why they're just making it worse, I feel like, for when the day comes that they do go public, like if
mm,
when they're in a relationship, because they made it seem like it was such a bad thing for them to be in a relationship. So now when they are, people are gonna go crazy.
yeah. And I think that's also
Mm-hmm.
why they feel like they have to hide so much.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't be as true because they're too scared that people are gonna judge them and that people are gonna like stop being their fans, stop listening to their music. And it's just like I really hope that eventually one day that would change and that I hope like that one day that whoever they are, whether it's BTS, whether it's 17, Monsta X, Stray Kids, 18, all those groups, no matter who they are, like I hope one day that they'll be able to come out in a relationship and show that, hey, this is my significant other. Please still enjoy my music that I give. Please still enjoy what I give. Like, like stuff like that, It's like if you really look at it, it's like there's so many Western artists that are in a relationship that are, dating either other artists or even dating someone who isn't an artist. And, they're living their life still and they're still able to make the music that everyone loves and everything like that. So I hope one day that K-pop artists can have that opportunity, as a Western artist.
This is a little side note, but I just want to bring it up because like we're kind of talking about it. Like
Hmm.
when people stream, like like I stream sometimes, or I haven't recently, but
Hmm.
yeah, I used to be in the streaming community, and a lot of my friends stream, and
Hmm.
it would be so weird to me because some people would not want to support a streamer because they're in a relationship too.
It's,
It's really
yeah.
weird. Like I've even had that happen to me where someone that is just random would come into my stream and they would ask me if I had a boyfriend, and it's like, why do you need to know that? You
Like,
don't need to know that.
it's
That's
weird. I
gonna
think it's like,
change your mind of supporting me.
I think that could be said for a lot of things. Maybe it's the generation now. I don't know. Maybe it's something. But it feels like that's also for like a lot of other like supporting like models, actors or whatever.
Yeah.
Even like low they like as low as like maybe like like TikTokers, YouTubers, like if they find out you're in a relationship, they're like, "Oh, they're not as interested." But they find out if you're in a certain relationship, they're like, "Oh, a little bit more interested," or like, stuff like that. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like I don't know, I think I think we need to step out of that type of um, thinking, I guess, or that type of lifestyle and just realize, like, guys, if you have a shot, you have a shot. If you don't, then, like, still love them.
Yeah.
Love whoever you're watching for the right reasons, Of course, everyone's gonna, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. They just, it gets so, I just don't get it. How does it even have to do with supporting them?
Hmm.
And if you
Like,
truly support them, you would just want them to be happy.
exactly, exactly. Like, they'll still be the same artists that they are today, even if they're in a relationship. Like what is their dance moves gonna change? Is their concepts that their voice is gonna change once they start? Like what's gonna change? Like they're probably still gonna look the same, maybe older, I don't know. But like if they're in a relationship, love them as much as you love them now. Like there's no reason to change the way
And
you feel about them.
I hate to say it, but if they were to get their heart broken, guess what? You'd probably get good music out of it.
True.
They would
It's true.
probably let out their feelings through their music.
My God. I was just thinking, like, if Jungkook, like, got his heart broken, like, imagine the music that he would have. It feels like he would
Stop.
write, like, some good heartbreak music. Like, it really feels like he would write a good heartbreak
I would probably
yeah.
cry.
Actually, no, 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 no. I think Tay would
I
write a
think
real
Tay,
good
yeah.
heartbreak. No, yeah, let me change that. I think Tay would write some good heartbreak music. I love it. But I think it's also funny when they start shipping them with like other members or like other groups and other people. I'm just like, and if it doesn't happen, they start getting mad. That's like a whole
Well,
different, it
yeah.
feels like.
That those kind of people are kind of crazy. It's like, why are you
Yeah.
even getting mad about that?
Yeah. I was just like, I always just wonder like what goes through their mind. I'm just like, why? What are you getting mad? Like it's funny and it's cute when like when it's normal, it's like whatever. But when they start getting really serious and like hardcore getting angry, it's just like, whoa, like
Hmm.
what's going on here? Like if they're dating, they're dating. Let them be. If they're not, don't get mad about it. Like, like you have to also realize these are like, they're artists. Their lives are out in the open, but at the same time, it's just like they still do deserve their personal and private lives. And it's just like sometimes it feels like a lot of people do forget that and forget that, like, they are people. Sometimes it's questionable if they're really like people or aliens. I don't know. They could be too perfect.
No,
But
it's
but no, it's seriousness. They're still people and like, they deserve to be happy. They deserve like everything that, that life gives them. And we just have to hope that the person they end up with doesn't hurt them or doesn't like go with them for the wrong reasons. Of course, nothing wrong with being worried. We could be worried. We could, have questionable doubts about the person, yeah, sure, okay. But trust that whoever you're idolizing, whoever the idol is or the artist is, trust that they're picking the right person because of how they feel. Don't give them the doubt that they're picking the wrong person. Because at the end of the day, they do want to make us happy. We're their fans. They want to make sure we're happy.
I just feel so
Yeah.
bad. Like they're such public figures that everything they do is gonna be talked about. And
Seen and talked about.
yeah, and even if it's like in a bad way, I hate when they see that stuff because they don't deserve
Mhm.
that. No one deserves that.
Yeah. Like they see it, guys. Like have they not shown us that they see everything we write, everything we post, like they see it all. So like let's not show them our bad sides. Whoever we stand, whoever we follow, like remember they see it. And just remember like, we don't want them to see that bad side. We don't want them to think like I don't know how to put it, but you don't want them to see that part of you or of us of the fandom. You want them to show that we are happy and that we are proud of them and that we support them no matter what. You know,
Because
don't give them reasons to think anything negative.
Fandoms and how they act are also a reflection of the artist.
Mm,
So, like, do you really want to have that bad reputation on that artist just because of like you being reacting to something or like being a certain way, you know?
yeah, exactly. No, I agree. Completely agree. Yeah. Well, I felt like that was a really good conversation. It was really,
Yeah,
it
we had
felt really long.
a lot to say.
Oh, yeah, really do. It feels like we should just change up our whole podcast theme and be like, it's all about BTS and K-pop. Just kidding.
Honestly, there is so much more to be said.
There
I
is.
I really
It
think
feels like we
so.
haven't even like. I'm sure we'll talk about this again. And again, we'll sprinkle this around with other because it feels like this could be said and talked about in other ways too, not just centered around K-pop.
I feel like we talked a lot about BTS today.
We did.
That's
We
not a
did.
bad thing.
No. I mean, hey, maybe they'll see this. But yeah, not gonna put my hope tie my shoot. My hopes too
Get
high.
your
There you go.
hopes up.
Yeah, there you go. Hopes up. Yeah.
Well, if they do see this, then they know how much we love them and support
Yes.
them, how much we hope that they'll be happy and healthy.
And that we are proud of them, and that we only hope for the best in their futures. The months to come, years to come, we'll always be here to support every single one of them. We might have a bias, but let's be real, all of them, OT7, all the way. They have, yeah. But of course, we can't forget about other groups. We do love
Yeah,
every single one of the other groups. They have a special place in our hearts. There's a reason why we migrated to their music, their vibes, and it's just amazing. They're all such amazing artists. I hope whoever's out there listening, you check out not just BTS, but give a listen to ATEEZ, Monsta X, Stray Kids, 17. Did I say 17 already?
no,
I
you
feel like
didn't.
I said.
I'm really
Oh.
surprised you didn't say them second, actually.
I'm surprised too. I thought I did. But take a listen to them because they also have amazing works, amazing songs, amazing choreography, amazing members. And of course, like check out girl groups too. But remember, let's hope that they stop being sexualized too much and support them. Every one of them do deserve their support. And I think it's always great to remember is like don't judge others for what they
Mhm.
listen to, what they wear, what they watch. There's always a reason to it. That's their happy place. That's what makes them who they are. And they don't they don't scare them into not trying to open up about that part of their lives. Um, they don't judge you for what you listen to, watch, whatever, and so you shouldn't judge them either. Yeah.
If you were thinking about getting into K-pop, this was your sign. And
Yes.
just know that there are so many K-pop stands that are here for you. If you ever have like any questions or you just want to get into the community, you have us here. There's so many other people also that are going to be there for you, and don't worry if you're kind of afraid like you're just now getting into K-pop and you feel like there's so many people who have been a K-pop fan for years. Like it really doesn't matter.
No.
As long as you're supporting the artist genuinely and you like their music, you like what they stand for, you're enjoying them, that's all there is to it.
I agree. And like we're a big happy community. Don't listen to what others say about what we are or what we do or what we know. Don't listen to that. Learn it for yourself. Join and talk because we're here. Everyone's here. Like we're actually a really big community, a big loving community. So there's no need to be scared.
Don't
Yeah.
be afraid to like what you like.
Mm,
Just be yourself and love yourself and for everything that you are and like.
yeah, exactly. I don't think I could have said it any better. Yeah.
Any last comments?
Mm, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Stream Halazia.
No one I know has anything to stream right now.
Well, Jimin, when this comes out,
Hi. What's the time? Oh, Vibes.
when
Is it Vibes? I think it's Vibes. Well, this comes out, and so make sure to stream. Well, I don't know. This might be a two-parter, so this might be the week after you're gonna hear
but it
this
would still
part.
be out by then.
That's true. So stream by Taeyang and BTS Jimin. Yeah,
Well,
stream.
thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you enjoyed our conversation. I hope this showed you a little bit more about us and what we're into in terms of K-pop and not just how we feel about that.
Yeah,
I'm sure we'll come back to this another time. If you have any questions or comments, leave it down in the comments below for us and we'll get back to you. And yeah, if you want to get into K-pop, I say just go for it. And
yeah.
we're here for you if you need
Mm-hmm.
anything. So,
Like,
thank you again for joining us. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below.
yeah, like what Maribel said, don't be afraid to listen to K-pop. It's not that bad, you know. We're here for you. If you like K-pop already, you can always leave down your favorite groups. If we
Mm.
didn't mention them, we would love to hear other songs, other groups. Let us know. Um, I was gonna say something else and I forgot. Oh, yeah, just love yourself. Be real with yourself. If you love them, you love them.
Oh
Keep
my gosh.
supporting. What?
Oh no, sorry. I just realized there's so many other groups that we didn't mention.
There's a lot of groups.
Well, we did only talk about our top three, really.
Yeah, we did. So maybe that'll be for another day. But
Yeah.
no, but for reals though, just like, comment down, let us know what other groups. If we have other similar groups that we listen to, we'll definitely let you know. I hope you enjoyed it. This might be a little bit of a two-parter, right? So
Yeah.
hopefully, if I'm pretty sure there's a first part, and I'm pretty sure that if I'm editing this, definitely check it out. Check out our other videos. Like Maribel said, like, comment, and subscribe, and also don't forget to follow our other socials. They will be on the description below. Um, yeah. I purple all of you, Brahe. Um,
Right.
Haranghe for all the 17ers out there, carrots. I don't know the other stuff for everyone else, but I love you guys. So, F2U, unfold your feelings to start your healing. Bye.
Bye.